Cool. So, yeah, I'll just go over it. This will be our short work with us presentation. So, we are AMC, Amazing Marketing Co., and we grow serious brands on Amazon. These days, I'm saying serious brands. I think before it was like amazing brand. I'm feeling only work with serious brands now. But no, growing on Amazon is a headache. Our turnkey growth management makes it easy. So I founded this in 2018. We worked with over 300 brands, rated excellent on Trustpilot, over 50 five-star reviews on Upwork, rated number one Amazon agency by Maple last year. And brands love us because we are great at communication and we give your products the TLC they deserve. We're not like one of those big fancy agencies, and we're not, uh, uh, crappy freelancer. So we're kind of boutique agency right in the middle. And don't take my word on the thing I said, why people love us. These are real Trustpilot reviews. I didn't ask them to say anything at all. This came straight from them. They said, we tried a few different agencies. No one even comes close. That's Danny. We got his brand to 100K a month in 90 days. Eva said, out of everyone we've worked with, AMC is the only one we recommend. And so I highlight these at the top because, yeah, working with an agency, it's not only about the results. It mostly is, but it's also about the experience. And I'm proud of these reviews because I like the reviews that come from people who have worked with other agencies, and then they come to AMC and they're like, "Oh my god, fucking completely different, complete way better than the typical agency." Because a lot of people, if you have worked with an agency, agencies are kind of like famous for being, oh, you're not getting taken care of, shitty communication, you're just a number. Like that's we hear that a lot from people who come from bigger agencies, and then these people said that. So yeah, proud of that. Jared said amazing results, a cost cut in half, sales 10x higher. Um, Again, I like this one. Greg said, I rarely leave reviews, but I do have to say that Riley and his team significantly helped grow our Amazon business. They give you the attention to detail and go the extra mile, which almost all agencies do not. I care more about this part than like the results. Results will come, but it's my mission and vision is this. Have a team of real experts that give attention to detail, which almost all agencies do not. So, yeah, I've been in the Amazon game since 2018. Dave, want to do your intro on yourself?
Yeah, similar years of experience with Amazon. Started it right around 2018 as well, 2018, 2019.
Oh, never mind. I said 2018. 2015 is when I started Amazon. I founded AMC in 2018. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I started Amazon right around 2018. So I'm about, yeah, I guess 7, 8 years in depth with pretty large brands. Been doing Amazon PPC since probably about 2015, 2016. Um, Spent most of my career working for top 100 Amazon sellers within marketing. And so I've seen probably over 100,000 unique ASINs at this point. Uh, I've seen what works, seen what doesn't, and then joined forces with AMC last year, and we're uh, it's been great. Yeah.
Hell yeah. So we also have Brandon, Josh, and Justin. They are our senior account managers. So one of them will be your main point of contact inside of Slack, and they are all 7 at least years of Amazon experience. And then we have a team of amazing Seller Central experts worldwide. You want to get into the who do we work with?
Yeah. So we don't discriminate on revenue, but we work with people who are serious about Amazon, who want to grow it as a significant sales channel. So from startup to, well over uh, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10-figure brands. Um, yeah, we support any brands, especially within health and wellness, CPG, food and bev, pet. We've got specialists that have worked with a lot of different niches, and so whether you're new to Amazon or you've been on Amazon for 10 years and you just left it in the corner to collect dust, or you have an upcoming launch, we are ready to meet you where you're at. And yep, again, categories that we love: healthy CPG, food and bev, subs, pet supplies, beauty, home and kitchen. But again, if you are in a random category, you sell door stoppers, you sell, blenders, doesn't matter. You can reach out to us and we'll see
Yeah,
if it's a good fit. Yeah,
yeah. We've worked with everything under the sun, but I shortlist those as we've worked with a lot of those, and I would say those are our specialties and our sweet spot. You want to go over this part too?
for sure. Yeah. So also kind of that expectation setting of like, all right, you're working with an agency. What is that going to be like? How am I going to hear from them? So, like Riley said, your main point of contact, that's going to be your guy. Your like main point is going to be one of those three: Justin, Josh, Brandon, and they're your senior US account manager, and they're the ones that keep you posted, tag you in Slack when needed, and then underneath them and supporting them is usually PPC specialist and Seller Central specialist as well. And not only are we amazing marketing co, but we are amazing communication co, and we really, really care about
Hey.
being upfront with our communication, proactive with that, and we do have a lot of people that come in and say, our current agency kind of left us hanging. And so we understand that we're both sellers ourselves. We get that perspective. And so it's probably because they didn't reply promptly. You'll enjoy working with us. Um, and you get a private Slack
Yep.
channel. If you're familiar with Slack, that's going to be your central hub of communication. Reporting will go through there. Kind of any one-off messages with you and your team will go through there. And then, of course, outside of that, you'll have your weekly or biweekly strategy calls with the team, and your monthly KPI reports. Those will live in Slack as well. Um, and all that we ask is you reply to our messages within one business day and show up to those calls, because we push for good communication. We ask the same from our clients.
Yep. And we require those calls, especially in the first couple months, because there's a lot of shiz going on. As Dave said at the very beginning, we need to be dialed in on what's going on. So we kind of said all of this stuff, but why are we different from other agencies? Big picture approach. So as I said with the Venn diagram, holistic approach of PPC, SEO, and CRO trifecta. PPC is just one part of Amazon. I like to say a lot of experts and agencies get lost in PPC land, and they're just like, my campaigns are my business. Like, that's one part of how you're getting traffic to your products, but you also need strategic SEO and strategic CRO. We're also sellers ourselves. Pretty much all of our account managers are Amazon sellers or have sold on Amazon. And don't take our word for it. The proactive communication and TLC, as I showed you with the reviews, plans and pricing. Let's see if I can go here. So let's start with this. Dave, do you want to break down the two plans that we have? Two simple plans.
Yeah. So we make it pretty simple between growth and A to Z. To put it in a nutshell, growth is we run your Amazon marketing, and A to Z, we run your entire Amazon channel. The big difference is if you have someone that currently operates your Seller Central, growth plan makes sense. If you need someone, an expert that's used to dealing with seller support and all the shenanigans that come with Amazon, catalog, inventory, account health, compliance, you name it, A to Z plan makes a lot of sense. So the big difference is the team that you get. Growth team, they're only focused on marketing. A to Z team, they're focused on operating the entire Amazon channel for you.
There you go. Want to get into how our pricing works?
Yes. So as you can imagine, if someone comes in with one product, one SKU, versus Johnny over here that has a seller account, it's 20,000 SKUs in there. Pricing is always variable. It's always going to be different. We base our pricing off of kind of the estimated scope of work, of how much time, how many hours do we need to allocate our team to actually make an account successful? And so that's why we do these exploratory calls with brands, understand the catalog, understand the products, and with a roadmap if we're planning on launching. And so we have kind of a range here between growth and same thing with A to Z. And that's kind of to support the different scope of works that brands have when they come in here. But typically, if you're a
Yep.
smaller catalog and it's not something that has like a wild amount of compliance that needs to be monitored, it's probably going to be on the lower end
Mm.
of that range. And then same thing, if you have a huge account or multiple seller accounts, multiple brands, then you'll probably be on the higher end of that range. Then we do charge a setup fee. Setup fee is essentially to account for that first month of work, which that first month when you're onboarding is essentially 2 or 3 times more work hours communication than the average month that we spend with clients. And so that's what that setup fee is. That setup fee will match whatever your management fee is. And so if your management fee is 4,000 per month, your setup fee will be the same thing. That is just it's a double month is that first month of billing. Then
Yep. Any long-term contracts?
yes, so as as we said, we're sellers ourselves, so we definitely believe in the importance of month-to-month agreements. So we offer that to clients, but we offer the annual option too, which will be for a discounted rate, and we can waive the setup fee on annual contracts as well.
And then the rev share portion. So some people ask me, do you Riley, can work with you guys? Can it be only a rev share? Um, can we do it? Or like how does the rev share work? Do we charge rev share? How does it work?
Yeah, an ideal world, and what some of the largest agencies do with some of their clients is they do a blend of management fee and rev share, or a minimum guarantee and a rev share. The goal, it really depends on where your business is at. If you have a consistent trailing 12-month revenue that we can look at, then rev share is usually a bigger portion of the agreement. But if you're brand new, you're just starting out, no revenue, no reviews, no proof, it's usually a blend of management fee plus rev share.
Yep. Cool. And then I put graphic design and copywriting paid per page as needed, and we'll get into that in a second. Um, yeah, let's just get into the to the creative part. So, uh, and it's actually in one of the FAQs right here. But anyways, creative. So as we've already talked about, creative, conversion rate, design, whatever you want to call it, huge part of Amazon. I coined the term Amazon conversion pages, and that's what we do. So I'll tell you the quick story. I've been in the Amazon game. It's been my career for 10 years. I found a huge gap in the market of really good Amazon design agencies. Um, it's either your shitty Fiverr freelancer people, or you have these big fancy like web development agencies, and they also do Amazon. And so that's why I actually branched off our creative team and created a whole sister separate agency and separate website and everything, and called it Amazing Creative. How about that? By the way, super excited. This new website just launched. And so we design Amazon pages that convert like crazy. We're in Amazon. We are Amazing Creative, an Amazon conversion rate optimization agency. Stop bleeding money and fix your conversion rate today. So if you need design, check out amazingcreative.io. These are all of our examples right here. Um, an Amazon conversion page follows all of my rules of Amazon conversion. And if you've seen any of my videos, I talk a lot about conversion strategy. Anyways, I will just jump down to the founders part. So Tom is a graphic designer of 10 years, and I teamed up with him and brought him on as our senior uh, head of creative for Amazing Creative. So super excited about that. If you get a creative package, you will probably be talking to Tom or dealing with him in Slack. So that's Amazing Creative. We branched this off into its whole separate team and separate thing. So I say that to say it totally makes sense to for creative work to be charged per project separately. Oh, here's an example of recently one that Tom did from Vibrance Labs. Anyways, we pay per page. Creative is paid separately per page. Here's an example. It's either Premium A plus or A plus. What I've found is uh, if some agencies, and what I've told many clients and potential by who's doing the graphic design, because it usually means by a junior cheap person, because that creative design work, the more design work the client needs, the less profitable they are. And so whether it's through our sister agency, Amazing Creative, or another creative agency, I tell people, I don't care. Well, yes, use us if it's a great fit, but invest as much as you can in Amazing Creative. Uh, for example, a client recently, she was hesitant about investing a lot in creative design services. And I go, is it because you don't have the budget or you don't think it's worth it? She's like, oh, we have plenty of budget. And so she, and so I'm like, so you're going to invest $3,000 a month in ads for this product. That's $30,000 per year. And you're afraid of investing $3,000 one time on the landing page for all of that $30,000 of ad spend per year. And so that's the way that we think, and that's the way that you should think. Your page is going to get thousands and thousands of views, thousands and thousands and thousands every month. And even a 1% better conversion rate is going to make you, let's say, $3,000 at least in an extra profit per year. And I even have a calculator. So, anyways, conversion, creative services are a la carte as needed per page, separate from the management fee for the reason I just said. And the other reason, it's separate people and they get paid for the amazing work that they do. And yeah, there's the plans. It's complete listing optimization, complete CRO. Either if you want regular A plus, or if you don't have premium A plus, you can do that, or premium A plus, and that's how it works. Example of our work. Just said that. Okay, cool. Some extra stuff. Additional channels. We also do offer TikTok Shop, other Amazon marketplaces, email as well, Amazon DSP. And so if you need those, we offer those as well. More testimonials down here. What else do we have? Oh, yeah. Dave, you want to cover the onboarding process?
Yeah. Yeah, we keep it pretty simple on the website because there's only a few steps. And then the majority of the executional work happens in that fifth section that says we get to work. That's where a lot of this stuff is done. But going from exploratory to working with us is fairly streamlined. It's fairly easy. First thing you do is you book an exploratory call using that link right there. And so then typically you and I will meet and we'll discuss your business, discuss the situation, see if it's a good fit for each other, and then we set the game plan in place. And so that game plan goes, all right, we understand your brand. Now I know who we're going to assign it to, which account manager it's going to go to, kind of set the roadmap in place like I was talking about earlier, so that that kickoff call is very pointed and we have specific questions for you and then we give you the opportunity to ask questions for us. And that, like Riley said, that call can be an hour, 2 hours. Um, from there, we actually add to Seller Central first before the kickoff call so we can have a look under the hood. So as soon as we make the agreement, we get into Seller Central and then we get you into Slack. And so those two things happen before we have the team discussion, which is kind of like that meet and greet kickoff call, long session. So that gives us the chance to get everything in there, connect the wires to the battery, and then everyone's ready to get up and running. And from there, right after the kickoff call is essentially that's day one. We get to work and we're handling Amazon. And all the ongoing communication is on the weekly calls and through Slack.
Yep. Then it's a bunch of Slack. I will also read this one that I'm proud of. Uh, Dr. Jason said they really took my concerns into consideration and weren't just spending money to spend money. He said, I interviewed quite a few companies until I landed on Amazing Marketing Company. Not only do they know what they're doing, but they can do it on time and on budget. They really took my concerns into consideration and weren't just spending money to spend money. I've met other Amazon companies which will push your ad spends to enormous heights, and you may or may not get the ROI you're looking for. Not only did they take my thoughts into consideration to account, but Ryan and Riley really felt like partners. They partnered with me, understood my goals, and are good guys. They're fun to work with, easy to work with, and they work really, really hard. So if you're looking for a company to take your Amazon list to the next level, I highly recommend them. We also have more reviews and case studies if you would like to talk there. Fun to work with, awesome results. Not only do they are good at what they do, they're great communicators. We see in the growth, and we've seen great growth, significant positive impact, very proactive communication. These guys know what they're doing, highly recommended, and more and more. No time to go into all of them. But I think maybe, Dave, if we go into the frequently asked questions. So, difference between the plans, already covered that. The A to Z management essentially just tacks on your Seller Central management team. Pricing, we already went over that. It's determined based on the size of your account, number of products, and amount of heavy lifting needed. Term agreements, while our goal is multi-year partnerships, agreements are month to month, or clients, if they, after a while, they want to switch to a yearly plan, there's a discount for a yearly plan, just like many types of subscriptions. Is there what's included in the setup fee? So as Dave said, includes that it's for that extra heavy lifting for the first month, the onboarding, keyword or competitive research, front end and back end setups audit in an organization. First month is usually 2 to 3x of a normal month. That's why a setup fee is important. And the other reason, Dave, is because we do monthly contracts. So that kind of makes sense. Some agencies and a lot of people actually swear by doing the audit first, really deep dive audit before even starting the management. So it includes the auditing as well. And we're not doing any long-term contracts like maybe some agencies might, like Dave said. But so that's why the setup fee. Why are you different than other agencies? Big picture. Already kind of covered that. What kind of results should I expect? Okay, that's a good one. So results depend on many factors, including how good your product is and your budget. If your product is unique and gets good reviews, it will get good results. We make sure your product is getting the most qualified traffic possible with your budget. We do our best with what budget you have, how many reviews you have, and how good your product is. We are a team. It's us and you versus Amazon. And we are driving the Amazon ship for you, climbing the mountain of Amazon. Some clients, as you see it in the case studies and testimonials, have experienced 2 to 10x in sales. How long does it typically see to get results? Dave, you want to take it?
Yeah, that's kind of
Take
like
that one.
the golden question of Amazon, especially for people that are
Mm,
launching a brand for the first time. Um, I would say it depends on your budget, right? And it depends on how you define results. And if the question is how long until I see profit, then that's the wrong question for your first year of Amazon. Because from experienced Amazon sellers like Riley and myself, your first year is not about making profit and quitting your 9 to 5 or whatever. It's about acquiring reviews, and it's about acquiring customers, and it's about getting your rankings up. Because what you're building is not a 1-year business, right? You're building an Amazon business that is an asset, and we're looking to take market share for whatever your niche is. Um, Now, typically, what do we see for clients that are new launches? I would say between about at least 3 to 6 months to see significant results, and that's with a healthy PPC budget. That's with enough inventory. Those checking those boxes is the most important thing to do when you're launching a product.
And I'll note this is also because the Amazon ranking algorithm works on a 180-day window to determine ranking. So you, for the first 180 days, want to build up as much sales velocity as you can, as you probably heard me say a trillion times in my launch videos. Do you offer rev share or profit share based pricing? As Dave said, it depends on the situation. Will my product be successful? If your product is good and gets reviews, we will give your product the best chance at success. You can rest easy knowing your products are in the best hands. Um, Only God knows if your product will be successful. If it's good, then it'll be good. If it's bad, then it'll be bad. We are going to give your product the best possible chance at success. But yeah, we're not Harry Potter over here. We can't make a shitty product that gets bad reviews be successful. But one thing we do pride ourselves on is honest and proactive communication. So if your product is going down the dumps, we're going to tell you that and be like, yeah, don't order more of this product, kill it, and help you make the next move from there. Will I be handed off to a lower level employee? No. If you've been with a big agency before where that happened, that's not us. All of our account managers are US based and have 6+ years of experience. I think it's 7 now. Why is creative graphic design not included? Already did my rant on that, but I love this line I forgot to say. Going cheap on creative is more expensive in the long run. If you go cheap on your conversion rate, then you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot. What kind of softwares do we use? We use Helium 10, Jungle Scout, Merchant Spring. So if you do subscribe to those, you don't necessarily need them. But yeah, those are the most common questions. There's the scope of work details here if you would like to check these out. So in the marketing, it's all of marketing. So unlike some agencies, if you're comparing other agencies, make sure to come back here and compare this, because some agencies don't include the non-PPC promotion stuff and or not really focused on that. And also other agencies may not include marketplace consulting, right? So the weekly strategy calls that you have with your senior account manager, it's like a consulting call every week, like for your business. You can ask any question and you have that essentially consultant for you. So if you're comparing agencies, make sure it's apples to apples, what they're offering and price wise. Organic rank, so we're very focused on that, as you've heard us say. And then A/B testing means worrying about the conversion rate for all your products. It's part of our trifecta: CRO, SEO, PPC. So if we need to split test something on the page, like the main image, or run an experiment in Seller Central, yes, that's included. But I made a note here: the design is not unlimited, free. It's per project via Amazing Creative. And then, of course, product launches. We implement our launch system, get you the fast reviews, and everything. And then this stuff is what the Seller Central team does. So basically everything. I like to say that when you get the A to Z, that means you don't have to log in to Seller Central every day, if basically at all. Like, our Seller Central manager is managing your Amazon account. and they work closely with you on when to send inventory, how much to send, manage your catalog, fix errors, soup to nuts, Amazon channel management, so you can focus on what you do best and your zone of genius, whether that's R&D. That's a great one that a CEO should focus on. R&D, what's the next product, looking ahead, or if you're doing other sales channels, or whatever you do best. We do Amazon best. Let us handle your Amazon. Where we run into problems is where companies will hire us, and whether it's the owner or someone else on their team, they're kind of trying to put their hand on the Amazon steering wheel at the same time, and the account manager is like, that's where we run into problems. So if you hire us, you won't need another Amazon manager. It's so you won't need another Amazon marketing manager for sure. Um, and so yeah, that's where we've run into problems where brands kind of try to manage along with us. That's not the service that we offer. It's we run the Amazon ship, of course, closely with you, closely making sure we're on budget, on inventory, and everything. It's definitely a partnership, but that's kind of the whole spiel of our service is so you can focus on other areas of your business. How about that, Dave?
That's great. And this Seller Central management, I gotta say, this is probably the biggest savings of time for
Mm,
an Amazon
and
seller.
headache.
Yeah, time, headache, like, oh my gosh. As somebody who's started Amazon businesses, this is the stuff that you hate doing because it's dealing with seller support, and it's very time consuming, and also something that takes our Seller Central managers an hour to do would probably take somebody who's not well versed. It'd probably take them weeks, months to figure out, because for those who know Seller Central on this back end, it is always changing and it's never easy to navigate. And we have that great case study that we should probably add is we had a client that had a compliance issue with their product, and it's been suspended since January. They came on with us like 3 weeks ago, already fixed, already back live. Um, and that was
Yeah.
Joe, like
Yeah,
absolute
our
rock
Seller
star.
Central experts are Seller Central rock stars. If you've looked at freelancers, you might know there's a gazillion Seller Central, freelancers out there, but not all of them are rock stars. You best believe we have two of the best Seller Central rock stars on our team, and Joe and Diana, they're true Seller Central wizards. So yeah, I like to call it Seller Central shenanigans. It's just a fucking hassle to deal with Seller Central shit. Shit breaks and there's issues, and you need someone to manage the support tickets. You need someone to get on the phone and call Amazon. That's required. Joe and Diana are calling Amazon for you when shit goes wrong. And under Joe and Diana, who are kind of the Seller Central leads, they have their own assistants as well, and they have a great system. And yeah, I tell people that like the back end work. Sometimes is more work than the marketing stuff. Quite often more man hours than the actual marketing stuff. It's just the back end operation stuff. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, that's it. Anything else to add before we wrap up this webinar
No,
about working with us?
that's us. That's us. That's how it goes. It's pretty straightforward. And then the in-depth strategies and all of the intricacies, that's what you can find, I feel like, in all of your other videos, is a lot of the strategies we employ,
Yeah.
we talk about. Um, so once you're onboarded and you've started working with us, that's when the train starts moving.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like those are all the FAQs, the most common questions literally that I have on this page. But yeah, feel free to reach out. And we're not able to work with every brand. There are some minimum requirements that Dave kind of alluded to with inventory and budget and stuff. And um, if if it's potentially a right fit, because we are a small agency. But If it's not a great fit, I'm sure Dave will potentially give some honest recommendations and potentially point you in the right direction. So, yeah, that is that. And maybe talk soon or see you in the next video. If you're good with that, Dave.
I'm good with that. That was great.
All right. Sounds good. All right. If you made it to the end, thanks for watching to the end. And yeah, probably, hopefully, see you soon.